Alright, there's a kind of a funny story behind this one. So this was actually a game that somebody recommended to me on this channel in some comment on something, I don't remember what, many years ago. Back then I said it didn't really seem like the sort of thing I'd play on this channel, and here we are. I did quite like it, but I just thought it wasn't the sort of thing I'd usually play here, but here we are now. For want of other things, and because I do rather like it, I'm kind of making a shift in what sorts of things I play here. Here we are. Also, you can see, this is, as is usually the case for a game like this, like we're recording it, emulated. I have the internal resolution bumped up to 2 times, because I don't think the DS really gains much by having a super low resolution. But, anyways. Here we are. This is Solatorobo. I've never seen an explanation for the title anywhere. My best guess is if you transliterate it to Japanese, it turns into Solatorobo, which if you split that up into Solatorobo, as it is in the logo, as you can see in the bottom left, that would roughly be Sky and Robots, which I guess would be a pretty apt description of this game. That's just my own theory. I've never seen anybody like put that forward or an official source, but it's my best guess. But this is a part of what's called Little Tale series. First game of the series was Tail Concerto. This is actually the second game of the series. I suspect it'll be the only one I play. Might get to talking about the games after this, Game of Fuga at some later point, but I don't expect to play it. And I'm not that attached to the first game, to be honest. I do like Fuga, but I don't think I'd play it here. This one I quite like too, though. So, here we go. We'll play this one, at least start with it. I forgot how pretty this game is. So this game is notable in a few ways. He did actually set a world record, I think, for the amount of supplementary material it had, or something like that. If you want to know like anything about this game's world, believe me, you can. If you want to know how the toilets work, they've got videos. They've got handles, by the way, in case you're curious. But there's a long list of other interesting things about this. The amount of supplementary material and things like that, for instance. Which also means there's lots and lots and lots of other fun things, like stuff you can read about things that happened off screen or before this game and stuff like that. I would recommend looking at that after the game, but I may occasionally make reference to it just to say, hey, this is something that's explored more in depth elsewhere. Also, you can see visually this is pretty ambitious as far as the DS goes. They put a lot into the visuals of this, including the aesthetic, and more generally just the feel of the world. Like I said, lots of world building and whatnot, but it's very explicitly based on Western Europe, or I guess kind of Southern Europe. You'll notice that all the voice clips actually are Japanese people's attempts at speaking French. They got a lot better by the time they made Fuga. And likewise, you notice the names of the characters. Also, being a little bit more French-leaning, like Chocolat, for instance. Onto the Hindenburg. Yep, that's the right thing to name a ship. Yes, I do. One, it's been a while, and two, just so you guys can see. How to move around. D-pad, jump with B. Yeah, it's not just jumping too. You can also, so you can jump. Also do a dash if you press it twice in a row, which is actually surprisingly useful. So the controls are inspired by the Tail Concerto that came before it, although there's actually a little bit less to it in terms of movement, which always bugged me a little bit. This is a game I wish wasn't actually on the DS, but they managed to do a lot with what they had, despite the limited audio quality and visual fidelity that they can have on a system like this. And you'll see, there's a main gimmick to how you fight and whatnot in this game. Grabbing things. Almost feels kind of Klonoa-esque. Yes. So the whole deal is that you mostly interact with the world through grabbing and throwing stuff around, including in combat. Bam! Oh yeah, you can also just... This looks like a swipe attack, but I don't think it can ever actually hurt anything, can it? I think you only ever pick stuff up that way. You can try to grab something that's sufficiently big. Oh. It gets a little bit more involved, but that's not actually on the show yet. It always bugs me. So, I've actually been exposed to a few localizations of this game, and that might come up from time to time. One thing that bugs me about the English translation, it's the only one I know of, that changes the name of the currency to rings. I don't know why they did that. They're called rigs in every other translation I've seen, including the original Japanese. For some reason they call them rings in the English version. I think they changed some characters' names too, at least one. I'll bring that up later when we get to them. The Dahawk. That sounds kind of awkward seeing as how it's... Duh is the... whatever. I feel like we should just call it Dahawk, not the Dahawk, whatever. Menu. They're very brief tutorials. I actually completely forgot there was a what next. I think these are the tutorials in their own right, yeah. You can see we have some stats we want to play around with later, but that'll come when it comes. Anyways, we're here to pick up a file. Does that apply if someone knows we're here? Yeah. Ah, cool. Nope. Okay. I was about to say, let me at him, but then the game says no. Yes. You have a life bar. Take care of it. Yeah, so you can grab and lift enemies. Here I go trying to actually just run to the fight and the game interrupts me. So one thing that's really useful about the dash, sure it's good for moving around, but also it can stun lots of enemies. So at least for weaker enemies, a really good strategy is to dash into them and then grab them. Otherwise you have to play lots of games with your opponents where you have to dodge their attacks, then grab them while they're open, or lots of enemies are more susceptible to being grabbed if you grab them from a different direction, so you might have to try to circle around them and grab them from behind. When I say they're easier to grab from one place than another, what I mean is this lift gauge will fill more easily from certain directions than others. Oh geez, that didn't render quite right. If I find there are too many rendering bugs and playing this game in 2D or something like that, I might have to change it to lower resolution. In particular, I can always go back to linear resolution with software render, and that should fix any bugs. I think this game runs just fine on the software renderer, so... Yeah, that's the usual way you do things. You grab them and then you can... Oh, come on. Cannot do the best job. Usually you try to... Okay, usually you try to combo together, throwing them a bunch of times. Yeah, so give me a second here. See if I can fix up that. Well, I can't. I don't have a chance to test it right now. Next time you run into enemies, I might try to troubleshoot that little graphical bug. I think that's the only thing levels do. It's like the ruins with you. I think they changed from curvats to curvas in English. Not sure why. There was more like a T there before, approximately, depending on what script you're writing in. Oh, didn't you say the door is locked? Is it not anymore? The light's blue now. Thank you for unlocking the door for me. Come on now. Dash. Fantastic. So it's not always grabbing enemies, like basically anything you can ever think of trying to throw at someone. So yes, you will also just as often throw, grab and throw projectiles from your opponents. Only I may have to change my controls a bit, because I'm relying on, some buttons that do not work very reliably for me. We shouldn't push our luck with a ship named like that. Bye. Fantastic. Okay, let's see if we can at least get through the prologue in this episode. I make no promises. Oh no, platforming! Is this where you get to learn about... Yeah. Yep. Sure, why not? Yeah, for some reason I'm a lot more inclined to doing this than I probably should be, but... Oh yeah, just items every now and then, as well. Yeah, you can only press buttons and whatnot when you're not on Dahawk, so... Not sure what that lift was doing down there to start with, seeing how it didn't seem very useful down there. Oh. Keep pressing A instead of B for some reason. Dash! Jeez, I don't know why I have a hard time dashing. We got some fun to have up there, it looks like. Just a regular walkway. That small room up top, up north on the map, looks like it's more likely to be a dead end, so I'll go that way first, actually. But yeah, you can also kind of hover. You know, I was talking about never having seen a game before where you had to mash a button to float like that. Jeez, that is the worst, most uncomfortable thing to do. It's not especially practical, but I was talking in, yeah, some doors you can only go through on foot, too. In Looney Tunes Back in Action, I was talking about Daffy being the only character I've seen do that, and then I forgot, oh yeah, you can do that in this game, too. You actually do have to button mash. Don't care about anything in here? Okay. And aside from the thing I just picked up, of course. I feel like so I have arms on this thing, I should be able to press buttons, but oh well. Hello. Huh. Yeah, this game gives a little bit of explanation of like the different species and whatnot if you care about that. I forgot that I feel like it's more better introduced actually in the game prior to this. For what it's worth too, if you're aware of Telconcerto but not this, these two games take place in different places in the same universe, but different countries. First, what was it? Telconcerto takes place in Prairie, I believe it's called. This takes place in the Shepherd Republic. Anyways. Yeah, as I mentioned before. Okay, so this one, now we actually get to throw enemies multiple times. Yeah, so that's usually the idea there. No, I didn't actually fix that graphical bug. Oh well. Didn't occur to me to do so. Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna see if I can fix this up. Alright, so I'm open to opinions on whether people prefer the higher 3D resolution or the reduced graphical bugs, because you can see now... Nope, that's not what I wanted. Oh, you weren't supposed to die yet. Now you can see the arrows rendering properly, so... everyone's free to express opinions on which they prefer. I'll record 5 episodes in this one sitting, so I might leave it at using a software renderer at the native resolution right now, where there are no graphical bugs. But since its game's running fine, if people prefer the higher resolution though later on, then I can switch it back from episode 6 onwards. So feel free to say so if you have a preference. I'll have to be careful at the timing of when I record to do that. But anyways, there are also other small effects that only work on the software renderer. I think, like if you look closely. Over, you might be able to see the cursor over here. You can see that Red actually has like an outline on him when you see him through this window, through the transparent white there. That doesn't show up on the hardware or on the non-software renderer. So there are some graphical bugs that break on here if I want to play the game at a higher resolution. So whatever your preference is, just say so. I do dislike the 2D graphics also get blurrier if I have a lower internal resolution, but we'll see. Oh yeah, anyways, the short story of Fairy Neko and Kaninu. Cat people and dog people. There are sometimes tensions between the two. Shepherd Republic is mostly dog people, as the name would imply. Yeah, I'll see. I think we're most of the way through the prologue though, so I might see if we can finish this before they're ending the episode. How can I jump down there? Don't know why you're not gonna let me go down this way, but fine. Bird. I'd say isn't this a pretty high altitude for a bird if we're in an airship, but I guess like everything's in the sky in this game, so yes I am. You can't defeat enemies in most cases when you're on foot, but you do actually have a weapon. Yeah, it's actually a little more usable than you might expect. Goodbye. I find a lot of entertainment for some reason in just using a stun gun on things, so you'll find that I tend to do that. Good battle. Appreciate the battle and explicitly being stated. Press buttons. Press big button. Boom! It was a lot less dramatic than I was expecting the big red button to be, but also helpful. Indeed, the episode's supposed to be over by now. Cannot jump down the ladder for some reason. Hi. Not do anything fun up here. I feel like they need some safety rails around here. They have some up here. Yeah, I cannot dash as consistently as I ought to. It's bugging me. Whoa. More big red button, even bigger, and even redder. Come on. I figured, thank you. Nope. Okay, I don't think you can skip text in this game, so I think she just happened to finish saying that as I pressed the button. How long have we been here? It's already getting dark. Oh, okay, that's what I said. I was doing that. Well, not as well as I would have liked, but... Oh, no. You can also dash... No. Some things you can dash into to kind of break them. I think you can break some things by dashing to them. Oh yeah, save points. I thought that was a thing. It feels like I'm skipping dialogue, but it's showing all the dialogue and then just closing it as soon as it finishes. The thing that bugs me is in lots of games like this, you can press a button to make the text advance more quickly, in the sense of like making the text just print instantaneously. This game doesn't do that. Yeah, so I think there was 1 or 2 like downloadable quests you could get if you connected to the internet or something, for like post-game stuff, and you'll see that Arrow GP thing later. Not very much point in saving right now, to be frank. Button! No sign of anybody except for, you know, like that really imposing looking alarm, but... And that's a note. This feels really illegal, by the way. A giant red button. Come on, Red. Obviously. No. This thing's heavy. Here we go. Except... yeah, I actually have to get off of the hawk first. Anything else fun in here? No? Okay. They had warning lights on this whole time, they only just now actually sound the alarm. Whatever. This also seems like extremely dangerous. Oh, wait. That also looks extremely dangerous. Never mind, I was talking about the storm. Oh, that's what happens when you stay in extremely dangerous places. Goodbye. Wait, what are you standing on? Are you flying somehow? Like, we're just in sky. Medallion. That's the Red's most famous voice clip. It's one of those sillier ones. Every time. Dash into things. I didn't do as many, yeah, you want to jump every single time. There you go, to do, the whole 3-hit combo. Okay. Combat's not super deep in this game, but it is one of those cases where there's a... it's easy in concept and easy to pick up, but it takes a little bit of practice to actually do it consistently. I do like that, even if it has less fun movement than Tail Concerto did. It's also a lot harder to take these lines seriously, and they keep getting repeated. But anyways.